the marker, our Season 5 champion, Bryce Shoemaker, is going to take the victory 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's going to get through it all and score his first career win. Saturday Night Racing League throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
Here we are for another week of Apex Cup racing, and we've eliminated it down to just 8 drivers. The championship is on the line, and we have 3 races left of this season. It's Apex Cup Sim Racing live on V-Speed. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, and back after my hiatus, coming back from Nashville Super Speedway there last weekend, and had an excellent vacation. I hope everyone's doing well as we come back here for Apex and their playoffs. The points, well, they've changed a little bit. Jesse Whittington, 5 points back, and like I said, we've narrowed it down to just 8 drivers here in the playoffs for week 3. This is as of last week after Richmond. And with Dylan Bates dominating that race, some penalties handed out with Jesse Whittington on a restart. Cody Bame, of course, advancing his way in. Garrett Kinder, Kieran Church, Ray Rogers, Dana Shepard, and Eric Tracy making that top 8. Eddie Smith just missing that cut mark there in the 10th position. Noah Carmen just behind that. Those drivers, of course, at short tracks, anything goes, and things got a little bit jostled. A lot of cars getting broken there last week. But for the most part, Dylan Bates just led the vast majority of that race. I believe it was over 80% of the laps led. Just dominated, did what he needed to do. And will add his 4th win of the season to that column, tying Jesse Whittington, who's just 5 points back. Here tonight, though, it's Michigan. And this track, it's Multi-Groove Racing. In Brooklyn here, 2 miles, 18 degrees of banking, progressive banking in these corners, opened back in 1968. Racetrack hasn't seen any reconfigurations. It's stayed the same. Maybe a little bit of changes there to the banking in the late 80s. But for the most part, this place has stayed exactly as it was when it opened back October 13th. And Michigan International, well, it's going to put on some multi-groove racing. You're going to have multiple ways to get around this racetrack. There's no wrong way to do it, but there is a right way to do it. And if you figure that out, you will pull away. The drafting is going to be a factor. Gear changes, gear selection, where you're at on the racetrack, when you choose to pit, all of those things, and it could factor in. It could become a fuel mileage race. We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. Race analysis up on your screen. 65 laps here today. The stage at lap 15. Pit road speed limit, 55 miles per hour. It's a wide and fast pit road, but it is easy to speed on. These drivers are going to try to get as much as they can to shave off time. Green flag pit stops, definitely going to be a thing here tonight. So be ready, be prepared for that. I hope you practiced it time and time again on these 70% fuel tanks. With that, though, it's time to take you track side, get that peg leg pull award. Actually, there we go. Let's get that up on the screen. and get that Peg Leg Pull Award up on the screen. Starting on the top spot here today, Jesse Whittington in the number 94 is going to get that. I believe this is another pole, and he has the points leader, the guy he's trying to chase down, just to his outside. So congratulations on that Peg Leg Pull Award as we go through the rest of your grid. Dylan Bates will start to his outside, and it was just a couple hundredths of a second separating those two drivers. AJ Rogers and Cody Bame will be row number 2. Jacob Bame and Dana Shepard will start 5th and 6th spots. 7th goes to Garrett Kender, Alan Smith in 8th, and then rounding out your top 10, Noah Carmen, Eric Tracy in the 67. Got about nine more cars to talk about here with Elliott Carlson, Daniel Holcroft in 11th and 12th, 13th. We'll go to Daniel Pope, Tracy Passons in 14th. Chuck Stevens and Ray Rogers electing not to take a time in the 51. He'll start in 16th position. Josh Oswald, Brandon Wallace, 17th and 18th. And then rounding out your field, it's Chuck Phelps in the number 75. But here we go for another week of Apex in their playoffs. Live from Michigan, it's Apex Sim Racing Cup Series, live on V-Speed. Dylan Bates is going to lead the first lap. Cody Bame got around the 94. Whittington falls back 2 spots already. David Shepard up 2 as well. Up to the 4th position as they come off of turn 2. It looks like Shepard once more almost catches the outside wall out of the exit of 2. But he is all over the back bumper of Jesse Whittington down the backstretch. Our second lap complete now as Bates pulls away about 0.3 of a second. It's a pinch here, a little squeeze from the 15. He drafts up to the 94. Not sure who he wants to draft with here. Dirty air going to be a factor here tonight. You can see the 15 choose in the middle there through 1 and 2. That's to keep downforce on the nose. It is so easy to plow up this racetrack, and you see the run that he gets because he did that. And move now to the inside. Second place up for grabs. Dana Shepard to the bottom, and he's also looking for the lead. He'll move up in front of the 91, pushes him up the racetrack. Bates loses the top spot, and here's Cody Bame for our first lead change of the night. We're going to see a lot of this in the first part of this race. In the first 10 laps, you feel like a superhero. This car wants to rotate and wants to drive, and it's rotating a little too much. What a save there from Cody Bame. And now Dana Shepard's going to look to the inside. Big checkup and 3 wide with Whittington. Bates, and there's Jacob Bame on the outside, 4 wide into 3 and 4. This front row is all over the place. They hold it down. A move. AJ Rogers gets forced to the apron as they're 3 wide again down the front stretch. Somehow, Cody Bame was able to hold on to that lead, but not for much longer. A send here from the 44. He's just clear. And the crossover move from the 78 of Bame. He holds it to the inside. Nicely done down the backstretch. You can watch them side by side as Bates and Whittington battle out for that 3rd spot. Then you have a car in the background there. That is Noah Carmen working his way up some spots. 4 positions gained for the 14 as he cracked the top 5. Did not get a good exit. 15 got loose off the exit of 4. Almost lost it. And we got some other drivers working in the mix as Shepard will be our second lead change of the night. It's going to be difficult for my voice to keep up with all this action on this racetrack. But if you watch just this day for the Cup Series. NASCAR put on a great show as well. Denny Hamlin getting the win. And we're picking up right where they left off. Multi-Groove Racing in this A-Class Cup car. Whittington in the middle, 3 wide again through 3 and 4. On the outside for the 14, he's going to get a good run down the front stretch. And he'll get to the outside of Cody Bame. Dylan Bates going to take back the lead here. Started from the pole. Actually, front row, the 94 starting from the top spot. This is the tire safe mode. I was talking about how these cars are handling in the long run. A lot of these guys in practice talking about how it wanted to rotate a little too much and it would build loose. So we'll wait and see if that's the case. You can see right now they're using every bit of it. 7 laps in, and the 91 of Bates is going to battle with Shepard. 2 1/1000ths of a second across the line. Still can't get it. Oh, in contact here. I think the 91 just slid up into the 44. A little door check there out of 2. We'll go back on our instant replay and take a look at that in just a moment. This battle for the lead continues. This time it looks like the 44 in clean enough air. He can run low if he wants to. He will hold it there. So let's back this up. This was coming off of the exit of turn 2. We'll back this up one more time. Let's take a look at this with the 91. He's going to slide all the way up the racetrack. I don't know if he was chasing a loose car or if the 44 pinched him, but man, what a door check there. As we go back to the live shot, 91 not able to complete that pass into 1 and 2. And so Dana Shepard, you gave him a playoff berth. You put him in the top 8. This is the elimination. Another door check. Dylan Bates is using him up to get around for that top spot. Another lead change. That's going to put us at 4 here today. And they're all over each other from first back to 8. On board here with Jacob Bame. He got a good run on the backstretch. Can't take it anywhere with the 88 and the 14 running that higher line. Multi-groove through 3 and 4. Side by side from the top spot again with Whittington. He's going to lead a lap for the first time today. Sends it down to the seam in turn 1. Trying to get that car to rotate. He'll push up a little bit here. That'll allow Dylan Bates to get by on the outside. Another send here into 3 and 4. It's not going to be enough. Really a big check up there from Dylan Bates, and I guess it is enough. There goes Jesse Whittington to take the lead by 1/10 of a second. Oh, in the 15 car. Caution is out. He went sideways through 1 and 2. And just shy of the stage. I believe that's going to do it for stage number 1. And that's going to go to Jesse Whittington in the 94. But the 15 car gets sideways, and it's enough to trigger a yellow here on lap number 12. There's the top 10 on the left-hand side of your screen. Just a quarter of the way through this race, we already have our first caution. So let's back this up a little bit here and find the 15 of Jacob Bame. He got really loose there on the entry. I don't know if he tagged the apron. This is actually a lap prior to where it happened. He was on the outside. We were riding on board with him at this point. He had got a good run, couldn't take it anywhere, had the 14 in front of him. He had picked up a couple positions. He had gotten around the 88. He was making a good run. Let's see if there's contact or exactly what happened to this Venom Motorsports driver. But he's going to peek 3 wide here into the entry of 1. He'll stay 3 wide. And right here's where it goes wrong. Contact between him and A.J. Rogers. And that's enough to trigger that yellow. A.J. Rogers kind of helps him back straight. And that's the first caution of the night. We'll ride on board with the 88 machine. There's our J.K. Kinder, Farman Ranch, wreckage rewind. And everybody pours down pit road. Car misses the stall there. I believe that was Cody Bame. Left sides are going to go up on the 94, down and away from the 91. Not a good entry to the box for Jesse Whittington. He's going to lose about 5 positions on this. Falls back to around the 6th, 5th position. Down and away for the 94. Dylan Bates takes back the lead. He will be the command car for stage number 2. Don't go anywhere. More coverage continues live on V-Speed. You are watching the Apex Sim Racing Cup Series. More coverage on V-Speed right after this.
Bryce Shoemaker is going to take the victory 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win. Saturday Night Racing League and throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to Michigan as we go chase race playoff race number 3. Stage number 2 underway. Dylan Bates, the command car. Dana Shepard, not a good restart on the outside. And here we go. Back to green flag. Take that back. We're trying to get the stage complete to go away there. We've had it fixed now. Green flag is out. Noah Carman has worked his way up to the 2nd position, and they're 3-4 wide back here in the middle of the pack. Chaos on the outside for the 15. He was involved in that caution. But minimal damage as they come off of turn 4, still looking up to speed. Crossing for lap 17. Standing out 3 and 4 wide. Bame on the outside. He's going to get a good run here. Stannis Shepard, who's led some laps today on the inside. It is close quarters racing down the front stretch. 3 wide with AJ Rogers in the middle. There's Tracy Passons on the bottom. And the 51 of Ray Rogers up high, leaning on each other with Passons getting up into the door of Rogers. They'll continue on through 1 and 2 down the back stretch. Looks like Noah Carmen creeping closer to this lead, has not allowed the 91 of Bates to get away. We'll try to make another lead change here. We've already had 7. 14 just can't get the run there. That dirty air preventing him from getting it. Daniel Pope, who has his victory. And we're talking about the 11, who's not playoff eligible, but did find his way to victory lane. We knew it was just a matter of time before that 11 car found it there. It's a little tight here with the 15 on the outside. Garrett Kender down on the bottom. 3 wide again. Down this front stretch. Dana Shepard going to take the outside. Going to get a good run here down the back stretch. 44 car, keep it off the wall, and he will clear on the 11 car going into 3. Tracy just behind Daniel Pope. Just everybody trying to find clean air through this corner. Chuck Stevens all the back to 14th spot. There's Jesse Whittington, who had to come from behind this field. After sliding through the box, I believe he came back into pit road and topped off with fuel. He can go a little bit further. The 70% fuel tanks. Green flag pit stop's probably going to happen somewhere around lap 40 or so. This guy could go a little bit further. Will it be enough time, though? You want to stretch that run out. It is a fuel battle. Everybody had poured down pit road as Dylan Bates continues to lead. Jacob Bame has worked his way back to 3rd position. He'll take it almost 3 wide to the outside of the 14 car. Here comes Jacob Bame for the 2nd spot. He'll take it over on lap 22. Does he take more? Is he going to go to the inside? No, he'll bump draft with the 91. Bates protecting that inside line where that car wants to rotate the best. It scrubs a little bit of the speed on the exit, but it's still enough to maintain that top spot. 91 going to lead another time by. He now has 14 laps led. Over here on the outside from Jacob Bame. He might take it away from him. Jacob Bame going to be another lead change. There's 8 of them. So way high line wall riding here for the 15 Napa themed Venom Motorsports as they lean on each other's doors. Those are teammates there. Dylan Bates has been doing that all through practice, and it looks like he's perfected it as he really pulled some side draft. He's going to do it again here in 1 and 2. 91's going to pull the 15 car back a little bit, and that side four is going to upset the 15, pull that momentum off of him. Still not enough to break it down the backstretch, but we were talking about a couple thousandths of a second at one point there. Will Bates do it again here off the exit of 4. 3 wide with Shepard in the middle. He falls out. Garrett Kinder is going to pull up to the 3rd spot, but here comes the 14, trying to get back to the lead. And just in the background here, we've got 1st through 12th, all within a second of each other. Chuck Phelps at the tail end of this starting to work his way towards the top 10. Right on board with the 75. And that peg leg pull award given out by this guy. There's Chuck Phelps as he looks inside of Ray Rogers down the front stretch. Save 22 on the hood. And it looks like Passage just tagged the wall there. But we'll continue to ride on board with the 75. He's going to run that bottom seam here. He's going to get a decent run. Might want to take the outside for that next entry. We continue to have battles for the 5th, 6th, 7th positions. Noah Carmen has fallen back, fighting with Eric Tracy. I'm going to jump up in front of AJ Rogers down the back straightaway, try to get some of that draft. Dylan Bates holding on to the top spot, but here comes Garrett Kinder. Can he lead a lap here today? Could be our, I believe, 9th or 10th lead change of the night. Weather on the top of your screen, it is a hot and greasy 108 on this track surface. And that will help a little bit for the driver in the lead to try to pull away. As these laps continue to tick, you're going to get a little bit further and further ahead of this pack, and you're not going to see that draft work quite as well. The drive off, it's going to scrub so much speed. You can already see it there with Jacob Boehm. Very aggressive on the early run, but now we're approaching 15, 16 laps on this stint. Tires starting to fade away, and if you didn't save anything, you're going to find out here in another 5 laps or so. If you have anything left for this top 10, you might fade all the way to the back of it as they have single filed out. You can see tires starting to become a factor just under the halfway point here from Michigan. Jacob Boehm and Cody Boehm leaning on each other's doors there back in the 3rd spot. 15 car holding it up there. They'll lean on each other again on the entry of 1. Dive to the inside for the 78 car. 15's going to let him slide up in front of him. Garrett Kindler starting to fade back a little bit here. It's almost 0.4 of a second. The 13 car holding his own for that second spot, but now has Cody Bain to the inside. He'll pass that cleanly with ease. This goes back to what I was saying, is how much did you save? It seems like Cody Bain has been on conservation mode a little bit here. Can he chase down Dylan Bates, though? Bates in that clean air will go on board here with the 91. Some of these guys that get out front, they stay in fourth gear a lot more than the cars behind them, and it helps the car rotate a little bit better. He'll probably shift up right here, and he'll stay in fourth down the backstretch. Just not quite at the point where you need to. Interested to see if he's staying in fourth all the way around this place. He will upshift here on the front stretch, but down that back straightaway, scrubbing so much speed on the exit of turn 2. Just not able to get up to that fifth gear. Here comes Eric Tracy to take over the third spot. He's on the outside of Garrett Kindler in the 13. Oh, the 14 gets turned by Dana Shepard. He pushed up the racetrack. He's got heavy right front damage. A caution will not come out. He just tagged the wall. Dana Shepard ran him over. On board with the 44, man. I'm not sure what happened there with the 44, if the throttle got stuck or what, but he just ran over the back end of the 14. So we go back to the live shot. Noah Carmen with right front damage because of that. And he's lost the draft. That car is tight. So Dylan Bates, Cody Bain have pulled away from the rest of this pack. It's Garrett Kindler third all the way back to around the 11th position. Still right on top of one another. Jesse Whittington, who made that mistake, he won the stage. Nine lead changes. One caution for that stage break. It's actually an official caution happened at lap 12 with the 15 and 88 making contact in 1 and 2. You see some of those cars that were involved in that having a tough time later in this run. Let's go on board here with Whittington. He's in fuel save mode. He's got something secretive going on back here in the 10th position. 5th gear in the 94. Listen to him on the clutch pedal into 1 and 2, and maybe we're giving away what he's doing right now, but he did come in and top off. So even so, this is going to be interesting. I knew it was going to be a fuel mileage race, but I didn't expect somebody to try to make it all the way. So he looks inside of Dana Shepard. This is for the 9th position. He's still passing cars on the clutch. He might want to get back in behind there on the 15 and get a little bit more draft. Don't want to give up too much time to Bates. Just trying to let somebody get in front of him here. Run that bottom. Save as much as he can. Eric Tracy looked to the inside there for a brief second on A.J. Rogers. Actually, that's Tracy Passons in the 53. He was looking to the inside. But now that we're at lap 40, we're past the halfway mark by about 5 laps. Perfect opportunity here on B-Speed if you know where that volume knob is. Well, you already know what we're going to do. We're going to get loud, presented by Firestorm Racing. Was Get Loud presented by Firestorm Racing. Dylan Bates still your leader. Cody Bame just tagged the wall coming out of turn 2, and then you go back to Ray Rogers in the 3rd spot, about 1.8 seconds back from your leader in the 91. Garrett Kinder falls back to 4th. Eric Tracy the top 5. Daniel Pope fighting for a position. He's side by side with A.J. Rogers, and Tracy Passons trying to work his way towards the top 5. Solid top 10 so far. 19 cars still on the racetrack. 1 lap down for Noah Carman. Of course, he had problems there with the 44 machine of Dana Shepard, but fast repair there for that machine of Noah Carman. Well, 31 laps in to this stint. This is about the time that I expected these drivers to come down pit road. But what I didn't expect was somebody to try to make it all the way. Let's see if Jesse Whittington is still on the clutch pedal. He is, and that tells me he is committed to this fuel strategy. Will he try to make it all the way to the end of this race? Does he have enough fuel to do that? Pump draft down the front stretch as Carman, with a fresh car, a lap down, gives him the push. Off the back of A.J. Rogers, looking back at Whittington. He's putting himself in a lot of 3-wide situations, and that's not what you want to try to save fuel. even on the clutch pedal, the 94 Whittington is actually faster than some of these guys around him. Fresh tires here for the 14. That should settle out. 94 can actually find somebody to maybe draft with a little bit. Trying to save as much as you can. I just don't know how it's going to work out here. There's Chuck Stevens in the 84 machine. Riding on board now with him. Another one of those driver cameras that we have on board, live telemetry. Starting in 15th, up 5 spots. Solid day, top 10. Cars coming down pit road. It's Garrett Kinder and Daniel Pope. Locked in and focused here for Chuck Stevens. Don't miss the box. This is the money stop right here. He slides and he makes it. Garrett Kinder, excellent execution down pit road. 13 car running in the top 10. See if he can get up to the top spot. Right sides only for Kinder. Is that going to be enough fuel? Daniel Pope down and away as well. He will come out ahead of the 91. And here comes the 78 who brought it down pit road just a moment ago. He did a 4-tire stop. He'll get back around the 91. When does Dylan Bates want to bring it down pit road? Looks like this time. As Ray Rogers follows him in, Dana Shepard in the background there in the 44 also comes down pit road on lap 50. That'll hand the lead over to the 15 of Jacob Boehm. We're adding to those lead changes. This is where it's going to get a little weird for Jesse Whittington. Can he make it on fuel? This is going to be really interesting. This is going to come down to a decimal point. I don't know if Chuck Stevens is in the same boat right now or not. No, he is not on the clutch pedal. He's just stretching it a lap further. It looks like Stevens is going to come down this time. No. He's going to go another lap, maybe praying for a yellow. He might have enough fuel as well. Whittington and Stevens staying out. 15 to go. 14 left now when they cross that stripe. Stevens falls back a little bit. Cars coming off of pit lane. It's Jacob Boehm exiting the pits now. It's going to end up a lap down. He's going to have 4 fresh tires. Car on the clutch to his inside. AJ Rogers trying to catch up to Tracy Passons. Passons executed his pit as well. Nicely done down pit road. You probably shave another second off of it though, Tracy. I say that we were trying to rehearse the entry, help this guy out. He did an all right job. Some of these guys on 4 tires were 38, 39 seconds. He had a 42-second down the lane. So I say you probably could shave a couple more off of that, but, you know, 1 second slower on pit road is better than being 40 seconds and holding under green flag as Whittington continues to stay out. How in the world does he have enough fuel to make it to the end of this race? It's going to be 10 to go in just a few moments. We're going to find out. Daniel Holdcroft back here in the number 2 on board with him. Holdcroft started in 12th. He's been outside the top 10 for most of the day. And he too is on the clutch pedal, trying to stretch this race out to the very end. Alan Smith in the background here. Just had a pass there by Elliott Carlson in the 09. Drivers we haven't talked much about here today. Alan Smith currently running in the 6th position. Brandon Wallace, also haven't mentioned his name yet tonight, other than the grid. It's been a lot of up front racing, so I apologize to these guys. We just never really had a chance to look away from the action, but now that it's become a field battle, who can stretch it the furthest, getting an opportunity to take a look back here at 5th, 6th, and 7th position. Carlson, Smith, and Wallace trying to finish this thing out. There's Chuck Phelps in the 75 in the 8th position. Cody Bayman 9th. Derek Kinder will finish out your top 10. It's up to Whittington here. If he can make it, 10 to go, now 9 as they cross that stripe. It's a different ballgame now that he's out in clean air. He's going to burn a lot more fuel. And Chuck Stevens lurking in the background. Again, back on board with Stevens. In fuel save mode. I think if you stick that tongue out, it's going to save you another RPM or 2. A little bit of extra drag. Yeah, you're on camera there, Chuck. Wave to it. Keep saving that fuel, buddy. Bring this thing home. Less than 10 to go. You are committed at this point. You cannot afford a caution. That would reset everything. You've got to pray this race stays green. And you're checking those relatives. You're checking that fuel in that black box. You probably got a fuel calculator if you're running like this. You've got to be 100% committed to this idea from the start. And it looks like these two cars have been. Daniel Holdcroft also on the clutch pedal. Josh Oswald in the number 1 on board with him. Running in 4th. He has Elliott Carlson all the way back with Alan Smith, Brandon Wallace catching up to him. About half this field has stayed out. 45 laps on the stint now. And this is where you earn that paycheck. This is the moment that these guys think about when you see how far you can go. And for Whittington, I can tell you this. He came in and topped off. Chuck Stevens did not. He's got one more lap on this stint under 94. But he is tucked up right behind. He is not on the clutch pedal either. As we're going to get the 5 to go. Heavy saving here for Whittington. Five laps left from Michigan. Chase race number 3. And Chuck Stevens is going to look to the outside. Is it too soon? Does he run himself out of fuel? He'll peak. He's still peaking. He's there. Battle down the backstretch. New leader. Whittington defending on the inside. Chuck Stevens maybe making him burn a little bit more fuel. It's between these two. They are over 4 seconds ahead of the 2-car. And here comes Chuck Stevens. Whittington's got 4 to go. Can he save enough to make that pass back? Pushes up the racetrack there. Dirty air for the 94. A mistake made from Whittington. And he's going to fade out. 3 laps to go. I think Chuck Stevens might just run away if he's got enough to make it to the end of this race. Does he have enough fuel? That is the question. He's 1 lap longer on this stint. Whittington almost plows the wall again out of 4. Dylan Bates all the way back in 10th. This could give the points lead going in to Las Vegas to the 94 if it finishes the way it is. Some passing going on back here with Josh Oswald, Cody Boehm. A lot of side-by-side action. There it is, Cody Boehm going to the inside. They have caught up. They make contact here. They've caught up to Alan Smith, Brandon Wallace at the top end of this with Elliott Carlson, the top 5 for these drivers. They just got to hold on for 2 more laps. Speaking of holding on, this guy held on well. I don't know if this 84 has an extra fuel cell in this thing, but wow, an amazing job. He's going 1 lap longer than Whittington, who has faded back almost 2 seconds. And then you have this close battle amongst all these drivers. We're about to get the white flag, and we're seeing some heavy racing back here. Dylan Bates works his way back to 4th. He blocks on Kinder. Down the backstretch, it's almost 3 wide. White flag in the air one more time around at Michigan. Can Chuck Stevens finish this race out? Does he have enough fuel? He's fully committed. He's going to coast this thing around. I think he's got enough. He is on the throttle down the backstretch. Whittington is going to get 2nd, but Dylan Bates works his way back up to 4th. Here's the battle for the 5th position with Carlson, Kinder, Rogers, Boehm. We're going to see a last lap event as we go across the start-finish line. Chuck Stevens in a fuel battle is going to get the victory in Chase Race, playoff race number 3. Back here to the battle, 3 wide across the line. It's going to be a drag race. And Rogers with a top 5. But how about that for Chuck Stevens, adding himself to the win column late in these playoffs. I don't think he has enough to burn it down. That is it for the 84. He coasted it back around this racetrack. Does he have enough to just chirp the tires? I don't think so. He's got her shut down on the front stretch. Post-race interviews with your top 3. Those final race results coming up in just a second. Chuck Stevens in victory lane. More coverage on V-Speed of the Apex Sim Racing Cup Series right after this.
With Jonathan Parker 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win. Saturday Night Racing League and throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Michigan as Apex Sim Racing Cup Series has concluded their 65 laps. Playoff race number 3. It was a fuel battle. The 84 of Chuck Stevens is going to get the victory here tonight. Did it a little bit better than everybody else. Final results up on your screen with 12 lead changes, 1 caution happening on lap number 12. Jesse Whittington started on the pole. He also was in fuel save mode and questioning the tech inspection of Chuck Stevens as he had 1 extra lap there on the end of that. Tell you what, that's amazing. I didn't think Chuck would make it, but congratulations to him. Daniel Holcroft is going to get a top 3. We'll be talking to the drivers in that top 3 in just a moment. Dylan Bates, your points leader coming into tonight. Well, it's going to be really tight here. I don't know the official marks, but with the 94 winning that stage and finishing ahead of Dylan Bates, it's going to be even closer going in to Las Vegas. Ray Rogers gets a top 5. Elliot Carlson in 6th spot. Garrett Kinder, Cody Bame, Brandon Wallace, and Alan Smith rounding out the top 10. Moving on to 11th spot there with Daniel Pope, the 11 in 11th place. Eric Tracy, 12th. 13th, Chuck Phelps. Noah Carmen will finish 14th. Josh Oswald in the number 1 will finish at 15th. He ended up having to bring it down pit road. That's unfortunate for him. Tracy Passon, 16th. Jacob Bame. A lot of these drivers that I'm naming here led some laps here today with the 15, the 44. AJ Rogers in the 88, finishing 18th. Dana Shepard rounding out your field. Not sure what happened to the 44. With that, though, it's time to take you trackside and bring up these drivers that finish in this top 3. And the first driver we're going to bring up is your 3rd place finisher, Daniel Holcroft, in the number 2. And Daniel, it became a fuel strategy race. Everybody started committing to it. I think if you were one of those drivers that knew you could make it 50-plus laps on this stint, you just committed race right as soon as that race went back green. The way that caution fell, the way the stage happened, it put everybody in a weird spot.
Yeah, I saw how many laps we had, and I was telling Alan, I'm like, I think if we top off and clutch it, we might squeak this out. And yeah, from the start of that last stint, halfway between start finish and turn 1, I was clutching it till coming out of turn 2. And when the checkered flew, I had, I think, 1 lap left. So if anything had happened, I was toast.
Yeah, if a caution came out, it would have reset everybody and probably frustrated you guys up there in the top 5. But phenomenal job. You kept your car quiet. You kept it clean. That's really what it takes here at Michigan to get it done.
Yeah, it was all fuel strategy. I mean, I am not very good at Michigan. It and California just kind of tear me up. So I saw a way to sneak a top 5 out and just ran with it.
Well, excellent execution there. And again, this goes back to when you start this, you have to commit. As soon as you come out on that green flag, you're already on the clutch. You're already pushing this car to its fuel maximum. And, you know, to know that you're aware of that, that's just a heads up move. Congratulations on the podium finish. You earned it. Anybody you want to shout out there, Daniel?
Well, I want to appreciate and thank old Ray Rogers and Alan Smith. They let me in their little voice channel, and we just kind of hang out in there and have a good time. And I appreciate what y'all do for us with this excellent broadcast.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for the compliments, and go enjoy that podium. I know that this is a very competitive league, and when you can outwit these guys, it makes it a little bit easier. Chess match here at 180 miles per hour. Daniel Holcroft is going to get third. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
And now we're going to move up pit road just a little bit. It's a guy that might be a little bit disappointed, though. Jesse Whittington, I know for you, this one's a little bit sour, but overall, it's a good day. I think right now, the way it sits, you'll either be in the points lead or right next to it. I think you got it this week, but going into Vegas, I mean, man, this has got to be frustrating. It turned into a fuel battle all the way to the end. And I saw you commit to it as soon as the green flag dropped. It just, I don't know, man. I don't know what's enough here for that.
Not burning my right front up, to be honest with you. I don't know what I did that was weird, but man, I completely burnt that right front up. That's why Charlie was able to catch me. And once he got past me, the dirty air, I just could not turn the car. Went back and looked, I only had 21% on the right front. I don't know what I did different. I was trail braking into the corners. I was letting the car settle, like I wasn't sailing it off or anything. So, you know, if I could just go back and have this one back, I would try to do a little something different. But at the same time, I mean, you know, I felt good. I'm really not that disappointed. I mean, yeah, it would have been nice to be 100% locked in going into Vegas, which I would probably consider one of my worst tracks on the service. But, you know, at the end of the day, we get a stage win and a second place finish. So that's a really good points day. It should give me a decent little buffer to the cut line and just go out and survive Vegas in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and we talk about those cut lines. When we start eliminating drivers, things get really real. So taking that gamble like you did there, how much, you had added risk to it, because if it doesn't work out, if we have a caution, I mean, we could just throw this completely out the window. Anything could have happened to you.
Right, and I'm not going to lie. Whenever I felt the car not turning near as well as I was hoping it would, I was kind of hoping for a caution, because I knew all I had to do, come in, either take 2 or 4, probably take 2, and just see if I could control the restart. But like I said, once Charlie got control, there was nothing more I could do except for just try to hang on for a second place finish. But, you know, kudos to Charlie. He saved that right front. I don't know how he was able to. He saved enough gas. He saved that right front, and he got past me fair and square. Made a good move on the outside. And all the props to Charlie. Congrats to him on his first win in his career for the league. And really happy for him. Really disappointed that we're walking away with a second place finish. But like I said, a good points day. Should be able to stack up pretty well once the points come out here shortly.
Well, with that, it's time to talk about the people that put this 94 car on the racetrack. I know you got a lot of people that help you out, and go ahead and thank those folks and shout them out.
Absolutely. First and foremost, as always, my wife, my kids. I'll be honest with you. Because of work, I haven't had a chance to even run any practice laps this week. So I got home 10 minutes before qualifying and jumped on here, ran about 10 laps, and then we went into qualifying, somehow got a good lap in. Whenever we got home, they didn't complain. They were like, all right, we'll see you later. Have fun. So I got to thank them for their love and support every week. Of course, on the hood of my car, I got Nubwo. You were making fun of me earlier, so I'm gonna poke fun back at you. Good, affordable headset. I know you said you're a Turtle Beach guy. Trust
Yep.
me, if you're in the market for another one, go check these out. Um, uh, I got to throw a shout out to my buddy Logan Sturgeon with Big Fish Barbecue. I don't even know if I think I actually forgot to put the scheme on that has his logo on the car, but can't thank him enough. Luke Haley Music minus 273 gloves actually just got me a new pair of gloves. They're really comfortable. Of course, you, Bradley, and V Speed, thank y'all so much for everything that y'all do. Thanks to the league for putting this on every week. 2 more races. I'm excited. Let's see if we can close this out and go for my first championship on iRacing. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's an interesting statistic that you just threw out there, that you haven't gotten a championship yet. Seeing all those races over at the Sunoco and the success you had there, and other leagues that we've broadcast here on V Speed, and how good you do everywhere you go. Man, it's just all elusive there for that championship, but I'm sure it's right around the corner, man. We're going on to Vegas. We're going to roll some dice, and
let me put it to you this way, Bradley. I've never even made a Final Four. So, look, I first goal is make the Final Four. Second goal is trying to get that championship. Love to be able to do both of them at the same time, but I appreciate the vote of confidence there. I very much appreciate that. But yeah, never made a Final Four, never won a championship on iRacing. Been doing this for 2 years now, so see if we can go do it.
Anytime you doubt yourself, look at the top of that windshield and that back spoiler. It is yellow, and you are going on for another week here as we go to Las Vegas. We'll see you in 1 week's time.
Yes, sir. You have a great night.
Jesse Whittington, second place here. He led 15 laps. Just got caught up in a field battle at the tail end of this event. And finally, it's time to bring up our race winner. It's Chuck Stevens in the number 84. We're going to pull him up here, and I got to say, Chuck, man, I don't know where that extra fuel was. 5th gear, taking the bottom, maybe just the way you were driving it. But once you got around the 94 of Whittington, you pulled away and never looked back.
Yeah, I definitely have to thank the engine builders on the 84 team because they definitely got me some good fuel mileage tonight. I was a little worried when I saw Jesse and a couple of them other guys come down to top off before we went back green. But I just kept it in 5th gear that whole second run. And like I said, just kept hitting that bottom. And I don't know where I saved that fuel at.
Well, I can tell you this, you committed the same as everybody else, but you weren't on the clutch pedal. So that's the other part of this that I want to talk to you about. It seemed like that maybe helped you save that right front. We were talking to Whittington. He said, I don't know what I was doing wrong. The car, once I got into dirty air, just didn't want to turn anymore. And it seemed like because you weren't on that clutch pedal, maybe helped that thing handle a little bit better and just drove so much nicer once you got around him.
Yeah, I knew I didn't have enough gas if I was going to make that pass early on Jesse. I could tell I was faster than him through the corners, so I was just buying myself time, to be honest with you. And I knew if I got around him, I was gonna in open air, I would not have had enough. So I was just drafting up to him, trying to save as much as possible. And then I think with like 4 to 5 to go, I knew I had to make that move to get around him. And then once I did get around him, I saw him getting into the wall, and my 0.5 or half a lap to the good went down to like 0.2, 0.3. So once I had that little cushion, I backed my corners up even more to try to get me back around to the finish line there.
Well, you sealed the deal, and I'm sure this thing was completely out of fuel after you took that parade lap to cool down. We didn't even see you chirp the tires. You just put it in neutral and shut it down. So, I mean, you did it to a decimal point here tonight. Congratulations, though. I mean, you led 5 laps. They were the final 5. You took that lead. You never looked back. Congratulations again. Chuck, anybody you want to shout out?
Well, I want to start with our primary sponsors, Jimmy down at Apex. Without him, we wouldn't have this league up and going. and then American Grit Apparel Company, Chuck Feltz for the Pole Award, Kinder Farm and Ranch, and everyone else that puts this league together. Wish the boss man was here tonight, Aaron, but hopefully I made him proud and pit one of his cars in victory lane. And then I want to wrap back around to I want to thank my wife and son for allowing me to race, and then especially you, Bradley, for putting this broadcast together, and definitely going to go back and watch this one.
And I'd like to apologize to Poman Motorsports. The post-race interviews, we got the graphic up now just above you there, but you know, when you go all these races all this season, we're talking about, you know, 10 plus, and then you get to something like this where every single week we go through this who's the fastest on the racetrack. Sometimes it just comes down to who outwits the other one, and that's what you did here tonight. Congratulations, Chuck.
Awesome. I appreciate it, Bradley.
84, Chuck Stevens. He's going to be in that, I believe, going on locked into Las Vegas.
No, I'm actually out. I didn't make the round of the playoffs, but I'm definitely here to play spoilers if I can. So.
Well, that's what I get for taking a week off. I forgot everything. Well, outside of that, appreciate you, and we'll see you next week when we go out to the Mojave.
Sounds good, man. Thank you.
And I dropped the ball on that one. Now, to tell you what, though, there's a lot of drivers that had a lot of success in the regular season, and then, you know, guys that, you know, struggled all the way through, put it up on the podium, get those victories in the postseason. And like he said, he was going to try to play spoiler, mix it up in the points. It's going to make it interesting. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's action here from Michigan. We have more racing left to be done as we go on to Las Vegas Motor Speedway in 1 week's time. You can catch that action at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, June 22nd. It's playoff race number 4. We're going to eliminate it down to 4 drivers for that championship. Got a little bit left to go here when we go on to Homestead. But for everybody that helped put this together, Eddie Smith, who referred me over to this league, Aaron Adcock, who puts it all together, Jimmy over at Apex, American Grit Apparel, and everybody in between. This is Bradley Cooper saying so long from Michigan. Again, we will see you in 1 week's time at 9 p.m. Until then, stay tracking.